Hello there. It's been so long since I've made a video here on. I'm going to post this in a few places, so you might be watching on YouTube or you might be watching on Facebook. I'm going to put something on Instagram as well. But this is such an intense time. I thought I just had to make a little video. So today, actually, I'm making this on the 21st of September, and tonight, in just a few hours' time, we're going to have the new moon, total lunar eclipse, total solar eclipse rather, in Virgo. And this is the second new moon in Virgo. We had the moon in Virgo at the very beginning of Virgo. I think it was at 1 or 2 degrees, and now we have it at 29 degrees, the last degree of the sign. So two new moons in Virgo in the same period, and this one is just the day before the equinox, which is tomorrow, the 22nd. So tomorrow, of course, the sun is going to move into Libra. So it's at 29 degrees of Virgo now, and it'll be in Libra tomorrow. What can I say? So I'm not an astrologer, but I follow several astrologers, and I'm interested in numerology. I read cards, I read energy, and what I like to do is to make sense of what all of these people are saying and put them together in a simplified form, which I will try to do right now. This one is huge, and actually any eclipse, and we've had the full moon eclipse, which was a lunar eclipse, just 2 weeks ago on the 7th of September. So the 21st now, we've got the new moon solar eclipse. And with an eclipse, we feel that energy up to maybe 6 months in advance, or ahead. So we'll feel this, moving forward for 6 months. And we may have been feeling it as well for the past month even. It's a time, it's like a giant new moon, a giant new beginnings. It's a really intense time. And mostly new moon energy is, gentle. It's all about beginning. It's starting new projects and birthing new ideas. But with this one, there's a lot of hard angles. I'm not going to go into that. So I follow Pam Gregory. I love her work. Very detailed, very, very wonderful, I think, astrologer. I follow a little bit of Tanya Gabrielle, really interesting as well. And she also works with numerology, and Astrolada is another one, and I'll leave those links at the bottom, because if you're interested in knowing more about the astrology, I'll leave it up to the experts. But I've been feeling this for quite some time, and I live with a very, very sensitive individual. My son is a very sensitive adult. He's got autism, and he really, he expresses what we're all feeling down below, inside. So basically, this new moon, the sun and the moon are in Virgo, and Virgo is, because it's at that 29 degrees, the 29 degrees is called an anaretic degree. It's a critical degree. And in fact, the sun and the moon are both at 29 degrees. And also Mars is at 29 degrees of Libra, where the sun will be moving into tomorrow. So we've got three planets or bodies at 29 degrees. And on a numerology level, 29 reduces to 11. So that's a treble 29 or a treble 11. And 11 is all about moving forward, moving through the portal. Now is the time. Now, I have been speaking in the past probably several years at this stage, but certainly this year, anytime I've made a video, I've been talking about the energy right now. We're in this year of huge change. In numerology, we're in a 9 universal year. The number 2025, if you count those numbers up, they add to 9. 9 is a number of endings and finishing the old and beginning the new. But there has been so many other new beginning energy, which I've gone into in past videos. It's really now is a time to make those decisions. And look, with with astrology, with numerology, with all of that, it's a blank canvas basically. And you can say, well, nothing happened. Nothing will happen if we don't take action to make it happen. We have the opportunity now to have, to really look at our big dreams, our big ideas for the future, and actually make that a reality, making the dream a reality. This is what I do in my work, my day-to-day work. It's helping people create a new reality. You're done with something old, and I feel, I could even call myself the queen of reinvention. I've reinvented myself in so many ways, and I get bored, after a certain level, and I feel that something else is coming up. But it's about following that instinct. And I think a lot of people right now are feeling that need to change, to simplify, to make things better, to want to create something really new. Now, I believe, and from listening to all of these astrologers, that the next few months are going to be quite, if not very, intense. But remember, it's like, if I often refer to it as like birth, the most intense time is just before, the glory of the end, when you actually give birth, and it all seems absolutely worthwhile. So we are going through the most intense time, but this too will pass, and I do believe that there is going to be a much better future ahead of us all. But it's up to you as an individual to decide, to get clear, to really know what you want, and to work towards that. Now, I'll talk more about that at the end, so keep listening to this. And so a few of the things that are happening. So Libra is, I have some notes here. Libra is which will be moving into tomorrow with the Equinox. It's about unity and liberation, harmony, beauty, love. It's a coming together, it's balance. And Virgo is about health and healing. It's about being of service to others and for the better good. And it's taking action and being deliberate and having a system and a structure and an order. So because we're at that cusp between the two, there is this sense that the two of these are really amplified right now. Moving, actually, the whole date today, the 21st of the 9th, 2025. So we've got a 21 day. We've got the whole of that number. If you add those individual numbers in numerology, that adds up to 21. And we're in the 21st century as well. And I got this from Tanya Gabrielle. She spoke about that on her podcast and the importance of this. But anytime you have three numbers together, it just amplifies that creativity. And in fact, the number 3, so if you've got three threes together, you've got that 369 code, which is the code of creativity. Now is the time to get creative. If you can do nothing else right now, just be creative about what you want. Build the dream. You may already have the dream. All we need to do right now is to just nurture the dream and be clear about it, and get clearer and clearer, and move into that gap with that, that 11 11 11 code, or 29 29 29, which reduces to 11. That gives us the ability to walk through that gap and to make things happen. And in order to walk through the gap to the future that you want, you've got to live right now. You've got to embody the emotion that you will feel at the end result. This is what I do with, and I'll speak more about that later on, and moving forward, is about stepping in to the person that we want to be, seeing the future vision, becoming that person now, so that you can enjoy their life, basically. So there's a beautiful trine actually as well at the moment today, for this new moon eclipse, and it's a trine between Pluto at 1 degrees of Aquarius. Uranus is at 1 degrees of Gemini, and the Sun and the Moon, of course, are at 29 degrees, so they're almost going to be the sun will be at 1 degree tomorrow. So that's still a very, very tight trine. And a trine in astrology is a very supportive angle. So we're going to be supportive. Now, one thing to note that with that Pluto in that trine as well. So Pluto really gets us to look at our dark side. It gets us to look at our shadow side, and it really is calling on us now to look at what needs to change in us. We can't change the whole world, but if we change ourselves and if we change how we are on the inside, that has a ripple effect on ourselves and on the whole world. So if we don't, if you're being called to give up something, if there's a habit or an addiction or something that you know you can't be and also have the dream that you want, if there's something that you feel right now is blocking you from what you want to be, Pluto in that trine is really going to be a sort of a kick in the ass to make that change. So it's always much better when you know that you want to make a change and that you want to maybe give something up or take something of a better nature up, make a structure, make a plan and take the action towards that. If you don't, you're getting messages from the universe all the time trying to move you to make a change. And if you ignore those messages, that's not good. Pluto will make you make that change if you don't make it yourself, and it's always a lot more comfortable to make it from your own decisions as not. I think as well that number 21, the day, the whole year, the 21st century, so the universal date, the actual date, and the 21st century, 21 is the number of truth. And there are a lot of truths coming out, and there's going to be a lot of eruptive energy. With eclipses, it brings a lot of eruptive energy. It might be seismic energy, both in the world, physically, but also in the community, in people, that eruptive sort of, there's a sense now of a boiling, sort of bubbling, tempers are rising, and there's a huge amount of duality, right, wrong, this is, my belief versus your belief, I'm right, you're wrong kind of attitude, and that is not going to serve us. There are truths coming out, and we have to tune into ourselves. Don't listen to me even. Don't believe anybody else's truth. Tune into your heart and know what's right for you, because the universe, the divine intelligence, God, whatever way you want to look at this, is constantly trying to get through to you, to tune in and to listen to your own highest self, to see what we need to do moving forward. So while there will be lots of truths and truth bombs coming out, we've got to be open, to be discerning, to know, what is your belief, what is somebody else's belief, and are you holding on to a belief that we all do, were brought up with, family, peers, society, religion, all of that? Or are you true to yourself? Are you tuning into your heart? And that's where real belief comes, when you tune into your heart and you connect yourself to your highest self. So tomorrow for that equinox, I am going to do a free little guided meditation, and I will channel this, I'll put it on YouTube, and I'm going to just tune into balance and freedom and harmony and unity. The world needs unity right now. The world doesn't need any more opposition. The world needs us to be balanced and filled with love. We are all human, and tuning into the human aspect of love. We came from love. We're created by love, a loving source. And by moving into love, what would love do? Because there are only two emotions at the end of the day, fear or love. And fear produces anger and and kind of duality and that right versus wrong. But love stops and listens and tunes in and is centered and gets inspiration from God, the universe, source energy. So I'm going to be doing a meditation in the morning, my time. I'm Ireland, so Irish UK time. I'm reckoning, but I will post it here. I'll have that up for 11 a.m. And in it, I'm also going to include a sort of a new moon intention setting ritual. So this will be available to do at any stage afterwards. Obviously, the closer you can do it to that, to the time, the better. But if I do it 11 a.m. my time, that's 6 a.m. Eastern US time, and I think that that's probably the best time to filter out. But obviously, come back to that whenever you can. And yeah, I've also actually pulled some cards. Now, in fairness, I pulled these cards for myself this morning, in all honesty. I had a question in my head about something completely different, but as I was looking at the cards, I recognized that, wow, I have 11 cards spread here, and 6 of them are major arcana. This is a tarot reading. 6 out of 12 are major arcana. Major arcana are big shifts, big changes, and they're sort of, set in stone, sort of. They're sort of something that is going to happen, whereas the minor arcana are kind of advice, and we can change this energy. Now, it's a beautiful reading. I have to say, it is a beautiful reading, and it gave me lots of inspiration this morning when I was reading and writing and doing my inner work. But it answered my question, but I also doused on it to know, is this a good reading to share? Because it really is an open reading for the collective, I feel. So yeah, I'm going to read that for you now, and I'll place the picture for it at some way, if I can, on this video, maybe on the screenshot at the beginning or the end. But so this card, is the strength card, and it has that Leo, this lion energy, and this is in reference to the past. And I feel with this card is we're being reminded that we are strong, that we are sovereign, that we are divinely created by source energy, by love, and that we have a strength, and that we already have that strength. We have gotten through. You have survived every one of your darkest days if you're listening to this. So we have this survival instinct already in us, and we need to remember that moving forward. We need to remember that we're strong and that we're sovereign and that we were designed perfectly as we are to do what we came into this lifetime to do. Just remember that. This card represents the now moment, and it's actually the 3 of wands, and wands are about our purpose and our passion and our fire and what drives us. But this is like, I feel that this card is telling us that we're already in a safe place, and we're looking at something. We're looking at the future. We can see that future. So if you today or tonight or tomorrow get clear on your big dream for the future. What is it? If you could have anything. Now, we tend to think of things that if you had, that you'll be happy when you have this house, live in this place, have this income. But what will that emotion bring you, okay, when you have that thing? And it's the emotion that you have to hold on to. And this card is telling us that we already have everything we need. We have everything inside us right now, and we're already in that safe space. And all we need to do is watch and look, but stay focused on your dream. Stay focused on what it is you are creating. Um, and on the other side of this, we've got the Lovers. And the Lovers is basically that I feel that is something as well to do with that Libra energy, even though this isn't really associated with that, but it's about unity. It's coming together. It's got it's got everything that we need right now. Um, and there's a sense that there's something, I'm just hearing spirit saying we're all being looked after, that there is something more. Plus, no, you came into this world at this time for this moment. And if it feels hard and difficult, know that you're not alone. Know that you can call on any time your highest self, God, the universe, divine intelligence, but there's something more. Now this can be like a coming together of people in harmony and in love. And it's a really beautiful card moving into the future. And I feel, get your dream and think of it as people coming together. I've been getting this for a long time, actually. People coming together, and that there's a higher power, designing this. And in the middle of these two cards, we've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, this is fast moving. Swords are thoughts and ideas, and your thoughts, your ideas are really happening fast right now. Um, but it's also the something else behind, because it's in between these two cards, and this is that major arcana. It's in between, and this change is happening, and it's happening fast. And I do believe that the next 3 months are going to be bang, 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 bang. And there's going to be surprises, there's going to be shocks, but we've got to go back into this. Card was above this in the reading. We've got to go back into our strength and our sovereignty and our inner peace, because it might seem like there's a lot of noise, but we've got to stay in a safe place, knowing this change is for the good. There's something happening for the good. And then the next line is in the near future. And in the near future, we've got the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is a bit like that 11, the 29 reduces to 11, which is actually reduces to 2 as well. But it's almost like that 11, the Two of Wands on either side. And this individual is holding the world in his hands. And that is your ability to create what it is that you want to create. Imagine if the world that you wanted to create, the love, the community, the abundance, the friendships, the peace, the freedom, all of that. If you could imagine that your heaven on earth, if you were holding that in your hands, this is a sign that your dreams, you can make your dreams a reality. And I've done this so many times on myself in the past and with clients. This is really possible, but we've got to do the work. I can't do the work for you. I can assist the work, but I can't do it for you. We've got to believe. Then on either side of this card, we've got the King of Swords, and that's really about, the King of Swords, thoughts and words, but it's about truth. He is honorable, and he is, truth shall set you free. He is determined to speak the truth, to tune into the truth, and the truth is always found in our heart. It's not out there. We don't get, there's so many different truths and people believe different things, but the truth, our truth, is that knowingness, that feeling that, yes, I know this, I remember this, I resonate with this. That is truth. And on the other side of that, we've got the Judgment card. And the Judgment card is, judgment is coming, I suppose, for all wrongs have to be made right. All, there's any truths that are coming out. I feel that this is saying, I'm just going to say it the way I would say it. Truths that are coming out. There will be an accounting system for everything. There will be no stone unturned that isn't kind of, there's a perfect balancing system in the universe. Take that as you want to take it, but I feel that wrongs will be righted, and there's a sort of a feeling that the underdog is coming to the top, or oppression is going to end. I really feel that there's something better happening. Anyway, then I asked for some qualifying cards, and I did twos of qualifying cards. So these are the first two that came out, and we've got the Ten of Swords and the Sun. And the Sun is another major arcana. This is a major arcana. This is a major arcana. This is a major arcana. But so so I have another major arcana in this qualifying sort of, and this is like this is the end of a struggle. The 10 is the end of a struggle, and I feel like we're going through that very last struggle now. And instead of pushing and forcing against it, if you could view and observe and know you're in that safe space, and if you can balance your nervous system, balance your thoughts, balance your emotions. Tomorrow, when I make that meditation, I'm going to have that meditation for balancing, for unifying, for keeping calm. So it might be something that you want to listen to for the next few months. And I'm making that free. It's just going to be on YouTube. So just watch out for that, and share it with anybody that you think needs this. I would love that share, but I also feel that, this is a gift for others, and we need to actually bring calm, unity, love, peace, harmony into our lives again. So this is gathering up those the last bits, the energy for the last bits, but basically the sun. The sun can't be, negatively aspected. The sun it's a celebration, it's a victory. We're almost there, and there's light and love and excitement at the end of that sort of tunnel, basically. And then the other two cards that I picked out just for extra clarification. Honestly, in the reading that I was doing for myself this morning, I wanted a yes, a yes card, and I didn't get any yes cards. But then I realized, wow, this isn't a reading for me. This is a reading for something bigger. And I got two more major arcana. We've got the 2 and the 3. And the 2 is, the 3 is the Empress. The 2 is the High Priestess. The High Priestess, and we've got the Empress. So, and that together they're beautifully aspected. So, but this, the High Priestess, is that sort of moon energy. She can be dark or light, and we all have both. We all have a shadow side, which we need to look at. We need to dig deep on. We need to, especially now, really look at our shadow side and decide, what are we done with? What negative parts of ourselves, habits, addictions. We're all addicted to something, whether that's scrolling through media, or, being in fear, or we're addicted to the emotions that we feel on a daily basis. But it's about looking at that, and actually, then also being in your sovereignty, being your strong self, knowing that you have light and dark, and moving into your light. And she's a major manifester, actually. She is a really wonderful manifester. She knows how to look at the dark, release the dark, and actually move to the light. And that's what we all want to do. And then we've got the Empress, who is, this is probably one of my favorite cards. The Empress is kind of, and we've got that symbol of Venus down here as well. The Empress is loves nature, is absolutely abundant, is abundant and fertile in everything she does. Fertile from her body, but fertile with her ideas, her creativity. It's like everything comes to her because she knows that she, can give birth to whatever she decides to do. And I think for us, that is a major, major reading, and beautiful reading for moving forward in what we want to do. So thank you for listening. If you've listened to the end, you deserve a shiny red apple or a gold star. And tune in tomorrow. I will be posting a guided meditation. Don't even know what I'm going to say because I tune in to my highest self and whatever comes out. So talk to you tomorrow, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new moon, solar eclipse in Virgo. Bye for now. So this is the card layout. The card in the very middle at the top, the strength card, that represents the past. On the next line on the left hand side of the three, it represents us right now, you, particular to you or me. The card on the opposite of that, the lovers, that represents the whole collective. And in the center of the three, it's sort of like the heart of the matter. Then on the final three cards in the middle, we've got the near future with two qualifying cards on either side. And then on either side of the whole reading, there are two other qualifying cards on either side of that.